within the jurisdiction of this court, did knowingly cause bodily injury to another, specifically by striking the victim, LR, in the head with her fist. And your attorney has entered a not guilty plea for you. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's amazing. Yeah. He's such an amazing stepfather, because I know you know, people have horror stepfather stories.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we're diving straight into a massive, jaw-dropping update in the Giudice family. The mystery is finally over. We officially know the identity of the person Teresa Giudice's 20-year-old daughter Milania allegedly assaulted during that chaotic domestic dispute. And the victim is none other than her stepfather, Ruelas. On July 14th, 2026, Milania stood before a judge virtually, and the court read out the shocking official charges. The details of what allegedly happened inside that mansion are far worse than any of us could have ever imagined. And now, the consequences are finally catching up to Milania, as she is officially facing up to 6 months in jail. So today, we're getting into it all, including the exclusive courtroom breakdown, the leaked police reports, uncovered video footage of Milania's arrest, where she appears to be laughing in the back of a police car, plus her ongoing social media attempts to put on a united front with her victims and her sisters who called the police on her. From leaked court footage to exposing 911 calls, we have a lot to cover, and a lot of piping hot receipts. So let's get straight into it. Before we dive into the latest news from her virtual court hearing, let's rewind for a quick recap on how Milania began this nightmare. So, our timeline officially started on May 14th, when police were dispatched to Teresa and Louis's home in Montville, New Jersey at 6:12 p.m. According to the police reports, Milania was arrested on the night of the domestic dispute and was facing 1 count of simple assault and purposely or knowingly causing bodily injury, which is a disorderly persons offence under New Jersey law. On this same day, Milania was released from custody, pending her next court appearance, which was set a few days later on May 19th. This news was kept safely under wraps by the Giudice family and didn't make headlines until June 11th, and when it did, the reports were incredibly vague, leaving fans across the globe to speculate about what actually happened and who the confidential domestic violence victim actually was. Some theorised it may have been Audriana, Milania's younger sister, who perhaps wasn't listed publicly due to the fact she's a minor, aged just 16 years old, while others, including many in the Bravo universe, believed it may have been her stepfather Louis. Anyway, as soon as the story hit the news, Milania took to social media to defend herself, as she'll continue to do repeatedly over the next few weeks as headlines continue to swell. On June 11th, the day her arrest was catapulted into the public eye, Milania posted a quote to her Instagram story, saying, "None of us sit high enough to look down on anybody. Be humble." The next day, on June 12th, more details were leaked about what really went down. An inside report from Reality Blurb shared that it was actually Milania's sister who called the police. A source revealed, quote, "There was an explosive fight in the house where things escalated. There was so much going on that her sister ended up pulling the trigger to call the cops on her. It was out of fear for people's safety and for the fact that Milania was going at multiple people." While another report revealed, quote, "There have been issues with Milania at home, but it's not what it's being made out to be. Milania came home from Miami prior to her finals because she was having some stress from school. She did not want to return due to all the stress she felt she was under. Teresa gave her a dose of tough love and told her she had to go back to school and it wasn't an option." A few days later, on June 16th, another insider revealed further insight on the incident, claiming, quote, "Milania was going at one of her sisters. Louis got involved to try to stop her and calm her down, and he had to restrain her. While it's unknown if she did hit him, anyone being restrained likely would try to get free, and it's completely plausible he could have gotten hit in the process. Due to the situation going on, another sister got very nervous and picked up the phone and called the cops. The source added, "At this time, it remains unknown if she did this on her own free will or if Louis instructed her to call the police." Fast forward a couple of days, and on June 18th, even more details emerged as reports revealed that Milania was planning on fighting her charges with help from a very well-known New Jersey defense attorney, Alan Kraminski, with the court date set for mid-July. Then, on June 23rd, Kim D let it slip that she believes Milania was away at camp or rehab to polish her image before attending her court hearing to help dismiss her charges or get a lower sentence, and that this was likely a recommendation from her brand new lawyer. But maybe cleaning up her public image wasn't top of Milania's mind, as a couple of days later, on June 29th, she posted this TikTok, where, instead of showing remorse, Milania showed off a brand new hair colour and confidently bragged to her followers that she, quote, ate down in her mugshot. Take a look.
All right. I have one thing to say. I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow. But that mugshot of me, if you guys really believe, that's AI. I ate down in my mugshot. I looked fire. I mean, nothing to be proud of, but I'm pretty sure of that. I mean, it is what it is. Shit happens in life. And it is what it is. You gotta learn from it, just become a better person and talk about it. And I just was not in a good area in my life. And you know what, that happens. I've been through a lot in life, and some other stuff happened to me. Just because you guys think you know everything that happens in my life, you just really don't. But that mugshot, I can't believe you guys even believe that's real. But that's all I have to say for tonight. Hello, it's me.
Maybe to Milania, the arrest was just a minor bump in the road, but the court documents that leaked just hours later told a much darker story. Now it's time to get into the latest updates. So, on June 30th, the official police report was obtained by The Sun, and the details they revealed painted a picture of absolute chaos. According to the reports from the Montville Police Department, during the domestic violence dispute, Milania was, quote, throwing food and candles at Teresa and Louis' home. The reports revealed that it was her older sister Gabriella, aged 22, who called 911 at 6:12 p.m, claiming her sister was, quote, acting erratically. However, no weapons were involved and no injuries were reported as a result of the violent incident. The reports went on to state that by 6:48 p.m, Milania was placed under arrest with double-locked handcuffs, taken into custody, and transferred to police headquarters, where police requested that a female officer respond for a search before charging her with one count of simple assault. Because the confrontation took place at a private home, a court official noted that the situation is being handled under domestic violence protocols, and Montville Municipal Court records showed that Milania entered a not guilty plea. We'll touch on this more in a second. But despite the public learning how she had terrorized her whole household, Milania once again tried to double down on her carefree image. On July 4th, she posted a series of bikini pics to Instagram with the caption, "Redemption Season," before quickly following this up with a TikTok of her and Gabriella and Louis' son, nicknamed Little Louis, which showed them all hanging out together as though nothing had happened, giving the impression that there's no bad blood between the pair.
Okay, guys, Gabriella, don't mind my shoes on the couch. I don't usually do that, but, Little Louis and I are leaving. We're going to get flowers. Wait, can you show how Little Louis folded it and then show how... So Little Louis just took Gabriella's clothes to the dryer. I'm surprised she didn't just freak out that he touched her clothes. He touched her clothes. This is how she folds.
Good.
This one is unreal. She's unreal. Gabriella, you gotta make your butt bigger.
Oh my god, Milania, say it again.
You have a fat booty.
Oh god.
I don't know what we're doing.
You gonna store anything?
Yeah, thanks.
Around the same time, Milania also shared multiple videos alongside her cousin Antonia and dancing with her stepdad Louis, one of which had the overlaid text, "Love you so much, Louis." One fan summed this up perfectly in the comments, writing, "Definition of damage control." And speaking of damage control, Gia appeared on an episode of Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow, where she bragged about Louis and pushed the Giudice party line that he's the best stepfather to the girls. Take a look.
And obviously your mom remarried, right?
She did.
Yes. And so, but that's so different. It's not the same. It's
Listen,
not-
and he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's such an amazing stepfather because I know you know, people have horror stepfather stories,
Oh, no.
but he is the best person ever. Like treats us like his own.
Right.
But, you know, yes, he's not our dad. And it's
never will be.
And he never will be. And he would never overstep that. But it's, you know, and it's hard.
What do you guys think of this? Have we all just got the wrong end of the stick with Louis and he's made a really bad impression online? Or are the Giudice daughters simply putting on an incredible show to protect Teresa and her love bubble during a time where her and Louis are already going through so much other drama? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, a few days later, on July 9th, Milania posted yet another TikTok revealing her brand new ink. Unlike the FU tattooed inside her bottom lip, these new tattoos are on Milania's hands and portray a slightly different message. One hand reads, "Paradise," while the other says, "Trust no one." I wonder if that's the hand she hit Louis with. Anyway, while Milania was putting on a brave face online, the real reckoning was waiting for her in a courtroom. And just 2 days before her courtroom appearance on July 14th, another secret detail was revealed from the night of the incident. According to an insider speaking with Reality Blurb, the feud all started over Milania's boyfriend. The source stated, quote, "Milania was allegedly fighting with a family member about her boyfriend. They allegedly raised some concerns they had, which angered Milania. The fight got more intense, which inevitably led to Milania being arrested." So, with that detail leaked to the public, it was time for Milania to finally face the music. Which brings us to last Tuesday, July 14th, the day the truth finally caught up with her. Milania appeared virtually in Montville Township Municipal Court alongside her defense attorney, Alan Kraminski, to face her simple assault charge. During the hearing, the judge laid out the official state prosecuted charge against her, and it sent shockwaves through the Bravoverse. The judge read aloud that Milania, quote, "did knowingly cause bodily injury to another, specifically by striking the victim, L.R., in the head with her fist, causing redness to the middle of the victim's forehead during a domestic dispute, in violation of a disorderly person's offence. L.R. So, it's officially confirmed. L.R., the victim of Milania's physical assault, was indeed her stepfather, Louis Ruelas. Milania allegedly punched Louis right in the face. So, despite Gia and Milania's attempts to save face publicly, clearly Louis isn't the best stepfather to ever walk the planet. Anyway, throughout the hearing, Milania, with her new red hair cleanly slicked back, quietly responded to the judge's questions and confirmed she would be entering a plea of not guilty. The judge subsequently ordered her to return to court for a hearing on August 11th.
S2648, the primary purpose of this first appearance is to ensure that Ms. Giudice knows and understands the charges alleged against her, the range of consequences for each offense that she's charged with, and her rights in this court. She is currently charged with S2648, which alleges on May 14th, 2026, while in the township of Montville, within the jurisdiction of this court, did knowingly cause bodily injury to another, specifically by striking the victim, L.R., in the head with her fist, causing redness to the middle of the victim's forehead during a domestic dispute in violation of 2C:12-1A1, a disorderly person's offense. Are you currently a U.S. citizen, Ms. Giudice?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And your attorney has entered a not guilty plea for you. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if found guilty, the legal consequences for Milania are incredibly serious, because simple assault is a disorderly person's offence in New Jersey, meaning Milania could face up to 6 months in jail at just age 20, alongside a probation sentence and fines of over $500. So, Milania has officially registered a plea of not guilty. But the battle is only just beginning, and the fallout from this courtroom reveal has completely fractured the household. On the exact same day as her court hearing, July 14th, TMZ reported that Milania may be physically distancing herself from Teresa and Louis's home, instead leaning heavily on her father Joe Giudice's side of the family for support and refuge. In fact, Milania has been posting TikToks showing herself comfortable and in good spirits, surrounded by her paternal grandmother, Filomena, and her Aunt Maria. It seems everyone is rallying around her and trying to support Milania in the lead up to her hearing and potential jail time. Then, on Friday, July 17th, video footage was uncovered of Milania's arrest. The shocking footage, which at this time was released without audio, shows Milania looking relaxed in the back of a police car and even seemingly laughing and joking with the officers after violently attacking her family. Check it out for yourself. So, where does this leave us now? Well, Milania is officially due back in court next month to face these charges, and with her high-powered attorney by her side, many insiders believe she will ultimately agree to mandatory counselling or a plea deal to keep her out of a jail cell. But the damage to the Giudice family dynamic is already done. In fact, Milania recently posted screenshots to her Instagram story showcasing an ongoing argument between her and her sisters, Audriana and Gabriella. In their text exchange, Gabriella calls her sister a keyboard warrior, and Milania claps back, "Alright, your weird ass words." In another conversation, Audriana tells Milania, "You're so mean to me, but I love you so much. Can you please, not be effing mean?" Clearly, although everything appears to be all sunshine and rainbows on TikTok, the picture isn't as pretty as it seems, and this domestic violence incident has had big ramifications behind the scenes, causing an ongoing rift between the sisters more than 2 months later. But with rhonj filming for next season, it has been reported that we'll see all of the fallout play out on camera. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how Teresa is going to spin this one on the upcoming season. She's kind of trapped between protecting her daughter and standing by the husband she's defended against the entire world. So that's it for today's update. But as always, I want to hear from you. Do you think Milania was justified in snapping at Louis and potentially punching him in the face? Do you think she will actually face jail time? Or will her lawyer manage to get this completely dismissed? And whose side do you think Teresa will ultimately choose? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, please don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reality TV news and updates on this case as they happen. Thanks for watching.